everyone, it's Nick here. Time for our first 2-minute Tuesday, and the subject that I wanted to cover today is actually something that a good friend of mine was asking me about a couple weeks ago, and that's sending OSC commands from Hippo. So this is something that we would do in multi-controller, and it's actually something that's not super well documented in the manual, but it's a really common way of controlling other devices. So that's things like Crestron systems, QSys systems, even sending to lighting consoles to control other Q stacks and things like that, so the Hippo can kind of be more of a show control device, as well as a typical media server handling your video playback and things like that. So anyway, I'm gonna get into it. I'm just gonna start my 2-minute timer. We'll see if we can blast through this real quick, but I'm going to come over here to Zookeeper, and to get started, the first thing we're going to need to do is add multi-controller to our components. So if you haven't already, just navigate to the config tab, go ahead and hit add, and then find your multi-controller device and hit add. I've already created a pin board with it, so I've been a few steps ahead. But the first thing you want to look at in multi-controller is actually the controllers tab. And so we have the control sources, which are things that are going to control Hippo. And then we have control targets, things that Hippo is going to control. So that's us in this scenario. And I want to add a new OSC output. So once I go and do that, I'm just going to have a quick look on the side here and see if I need to set up the correct network adapter to send out of, whatever the target IP address is. So I'm not sending to anything in specific today. I've just got a little test application called protocol here. So I'm going to leave it set to all adapters. I could select one if I had a specific device and assign the target IP. One of the biggest gotchas is actually the port number as well. So I'm just going to check again. My protocol app is set up to listen on 5000. I'm sending on 5000. We're all set to go. And then to actually send meaningful data, we need to go to add a new pin mapping. So I'm going to create a new user pin. When I do that, I can name this whatever I want, my float pin, and I can select what type of pin I want to send, either a bool, an integer, a float, or a string. I'm just going to leave it as float now. It's the easiest to get started with. I'm going to go ahead and hit add, and then to actually start sending data, I need to give it a new mapping, and for OSC, it's actually going to be a text mapping. So when I come to the text mapping here, all I need to do really is just set up a new path, an OSC path. So if you needed a specific value, I would look up the device you're trying to control and type that in here. I'm just going to use my float / value, and then once I've got it all set, I can drag this pin out, move the value up and down, come over to protocol, and see that I indeed have OSC coming out of the system. So yeah, that's how to get started sending out OSC data with Hippo. I would come try it on your own, maybe add some different user pins like strings, ints, bools, and yeah, set it up to control whatever you want. But hopefully you learned something cool, and make sure to subscribe, come back. We'll see you next Tuesday, and hopefully show you something else cool. Cheers, bye.